Hey there, folks. I'm meteorologist Matt Barrentine. Thank you for joining us here on our Fox 10 Gulf stream here on your Thursday afternoon. I'm meteorologist Matt Barrentine. Meteorologist Nicholas Herboso is likely to be joining us as well. He's got some few things he's trying to work on, getting us ready here for a little bit later on this afternoon. So I'm going to get us started here today. Talking about a few things. First off, fall officially begins on Saturday, on the 23rd, early in the morning on Saturday. That is the fall equinox. So it just makes you think, you know, well, what does it feel like for fall? Like, what does fall feel like to you? And this is personal, my definition, when it actually feels like fall. Let me put this into motion here. It's that first time you get that real nice breath of 70s. Not like because it's rained all day long, but just a beautiful day where the high is just somewhere in the 70s. And usually the morning would be in the 50s. That, to me, kind of gives you that first real taste of fall when you get that first day that looks like this. And here we are. What day is today? We are on the 21st, right? Well, let's look in past years when this has happened. Last 5 years, when have we had that first beautiful fall-like day? The last 3 years, it's all been within a few days of where we're at now. It's been somewhere 23rd, 29th. Back in 2019 and 2018, we had to wait all the way until about the middle of October before we got there. Now, keep in mind, just because you get a day like that doesn't mean it stays like that, okay? We've seen it before where we get one of those beautiful days like that, or two beautiful days, and the heat comes right back and slaps us in the face. What a lot of folks around here call a false fall. That happens a lot, especially when you have them, you know, late in September like this. We generally will get at least another week of hot weather before we start moving into more real fall-like temperatures. So it doesn't necessarily last, but that's generally when it first happens. I'm just telling you right now, folks, I mean, so the 10-day forecast, which would take us into October, I mean, nothing that's even close to that. I mean, we don't even have a low 80s on there, okay? So nothing even close. Right around 90-ish, upper 80s, that's the best we're going to do. And certainly no 50s in the morning either. So I don't see it yet. Obviously, it's going to be well into October before we actually get that first real taste of fall. Probably not a surprise, right? I mean, August was our hottest month ever recorded here on the Gulf Coast. This September has been well above average. So we've had this brutal summer that just keeps dragging on. And looks like it will continue to drag on. Another problem with what we've seen lately is that we haven't had much in the way of rain. And the drought monitor, parts of our area, including a lot of Mobile County, is in the extreme drought, which is, there's only 5 levels. It goes up to exceptional. Extreme is level 4. So level 4 or 5 for parts of Mobile County, good chunk of Mobile County, I should say. They did update this today, and they did widen the area that's in that level 4 drought. Now, level 3 is severe. They also kind of widened out that area. The Panhandle, you're doing a little better, but over into the Mobile area, basically west of 65, doing pretty bad. And I don't know if I can, yeah, maybe I can zoom this thing out. I can do that probably. I'm going to zoom this graphic out a little. Whoops, I zoomed it in. Zoom it out a little bit, and it's even worse over here in Louisiana and Texas. They're full on into that exceptional level of drought. So it's not good. We need some rain. I don't see it happening, at least no big rain chances here over the next 10 days. You can get some sprinkles here and there. We got an inch of rain yesterday out at Mobile Regional Airport. Quick shower. It's all, and it gave a quick inch of rain. So that can sometimes happen. We get enough of those, that'll help. But they're just not widespread enough to really make a big dent in it. So August was obviously not a good month. It was the hottest month ever recorded. And then we had about a 4-inch rainfall deficit on top of that hot weather that we saw. Now, this month, like I said, we got an inch of rain yesterday in Mobile, so that actually helped us out. Our deficit this month right now really isn't that bad. The issue, though, has been, you know, record heat, way above average for August and September. You factor that in with the dryness, and it makes it even worse. It makes the drought worse when you have extra heat on top of everything else. That heat, you know, if it had been 85 every day, 89 every day during August and September, with these rainfall deficits right now, the drought wouldn't be as bad. But the hotter the temperatures, the more evaporation you get. It dries things out even more. So that's been really the problem. Now, We have had a few showers out there on the radar today. Let me get to my other graphics. I have to move into another show here. We have had at least a couple out there this afternoon. Once again, this is good to see. I'm going to pull this up here on the radar for you. And you can see a few showers out there. Oops, let me click on, there we go. Click on that. So you can see those showers. They're basically moving about north to south. Let me move into Baldwin County. Got a pretty decent shower here around Bon Secour. You're getting some rain up towards Weeks Bay and Pelican Point as well, Magnolia Springs Highway. So there's a nice little shower there. It's kind of creeping off to the south. Let me kind of go north here. There's another little shower just to the east of Fairhope, out kind of near the airport, actually. So that's right there on County Road 33. Nice little shower there, County Road 48. I'm getting a little shower. Once again, it's kind of in the middle of Baldwin County. Let me kind of go on over here to the Panhandle. Got a couple showers here. We got this one on the west side of Pensacola. So West Pensacola, you're getting a decent little shower right now. And we've also got a little bit of rain over Garcon Point and a better shower over here around Highway 98, Windhaven Beach area, Mary Esther, parts of Fort Walton Beach, getting some rain right now. So right over the Air Force Base there. So getting some decent rain over that way as well. Good to see. You know, obviously it's just not widespread enough. You know, little pockets here and there. It's helping out, but we're just not getting the really widespread rain that we need. And things are just pretty quiet overall across our area. Here's the current conditions. It's 91 in Mobile right now, 91 downtown. Starting to get the humidity back. I wanted to point this out. So the last few days, it's been nice in the sense that we've had some nice mornings, lower humidity, and we also haven't had a heat index in a few days. Actually, it's been so dry, it actually makes it feel a little bit cooler than it is, so to speak. But here, look at today, 91 Mobile Regional, 91 downtown at Brookley Field. Dew points are back in the mid-60s, so there is a small heat index of 92 at both Mobile Regional and Mobile downtown. So, you know, like I said, we can't see, we're about to go into fall officially on Saturday, and we can't seem to shake the heat, and now we're getting some more humidity back on top of things as well. Here's how it looks over the next few hours. You got some plans, something you got to run around and do. I'm going to be out in a soccer field like I am pretty much every day. After work, temperatures will be about 87 at 5, and you can see dropping back off in the lower 80s as we head to the evening. So not a bad evening, just another mild and relatively muggy night here for us across the area. Futurecast, pretty quiet here. Not going to show a whole lot. Let me move us into Friday. Real quiet through the day on Friday, just not seeing a whole lot out there. That takes us to 6:30 on Friday. Of course, Friday Night Lights around 7 o'clock on Friday, right? Looks like it'll be pretty quiet for all that. So if you're going out to some Friday night football games, I don't see us having any issues out there. So we wake up tomorrow morning, should be a quiet start to the day. Temperatures will be in the upper 60s to near 70 degrees. In the afternoon, it'll be in the upper 80s, bordering on the 90-degree mark once again, and just slightly humid. We see this afternoon. A little bit more humidity has worked its way back into the area. Not enough, though, to really give us any rain showers and storms. All right. We do have a new tropical system out in the Atlantic right now, and it's just off the coast of Florida. The good news for us, it's off the other side of Florida, not our side. So we don't have to worry about this one too much, but it is what's now being called potential tropical cyclone number 16. I don't like the nomenclature that they use, but they're just trying to get out there with the National Hurricane Series, put up these potential tropical cyclones. Just because you're not ready to call it a tropical depression just yet, if they anticipate that it becomes a tropical depression, that it becomes a tropical storm, that it becomes, this one would become Ophelia. Right now, winds of 35 miles an hour, and it's moving to the north. That's, of course, important, right? Because if it was going east, it could end up right back out in the Gulf, right? It's not going west, I'm sorry. Get my cardinal directions all wrong here. West, if it was going west, it'd be going across the peninsula of Florida. It's not. It's going north, okay? So no worries in that sense. What's going to happen with this storm is that the folks, particularly in North Carolina, are going to have to keep an eye on it. Now, there looks like there'll be some rain up around Norfolk, Virginia, maybe up into Maryland, that area, before it works its way back out to sea. But the Outer Banks of North Carolina could get looks like they'll get a direct hit here from probably an upper end tropical storm, Ophelia. When will that happen? Saturday morning, so it's fairly quick. That's the other reason why they give us this potential tropical cyclone name. I'm talking Saturday morning. Right now it's Thursday afternoon. That's not a whole lot of time to prepare. So they had to go ahead and get some information out there. This is how they do it, by just going and calling it a potential tropical cyclone. Maybe pre-depression or something like that. Maybe it would have been a better name for it. I don't know. Here's the names. Like I said, this one would become Ophelia. So that would be the 15th named storm of the season, making it a fairly active season here for us. And that's what we're looking at there. And I'll go ahead and pull this up and widen things out here so you can see the big picture. And what we're looking at here is some storms out in the far Atlantic that we're going to have to keep an eye on, an area there that has a pretty good chance of development. But that's so far out there right now that it's certainly not a major worry for us. And I'm going to go ahead and pop up another mic here because Nicholas Herboso has joined us here this afternoon. I told you he's been doing some work on some specialty graphics for us, trying to get that all settled out. So, Nicholas, now that you're here, I know you've been keeping an eye here on the tropics, particularly that potential tropical cyclone, and I'll go ahead and let you add your 2 cents in on that.
Yeah, some of the biggest impacts, I heard what you were talking about it earlier with the kind of nomenclature of it, the weirdness of it.
That's just my rant on it.
And it is something a little bit different, of course, because, potential tropical cyclone, that's not something that we would normally be dealing with. But, like we said, it's in range of impact at this point. Impacts are coming very, very soon. So with that, and I think one of the biggest things I've been kind of seeing the social media talk of it as well, rainfall, big time rainy weekend for everybody along kind of the East Coast, and you can see it taking shape already. You can see, and it's kind of that weird, almost subtropical look, of course, with this kind of comma shape type thing. But of course, a big old rain shield will be going over kind of everywhere from the Mid-Atlantic all the way down to the Carolinas. So plenty of rain there for them, which is not, of course, not something that we have.
Well, I know we could use some of that rain, but we're not getting that, so that's going to be for them on the East Coast. The other one that I think folks are going to probably wonder about in the long term is what happens with this big red area down here in the South Atlantic.
Yeah, this one's going to be, based on all models right now, it's going to be charging all the way across the Atlantic, which that means people in the Lesser Antilles and stuff are going to have to watch this, Windward Islands and stuff. Because, and you can see kind of how wide, and remember, this is not a forecast cone. This is not a forecast cone. This is, the storm may develop in this area, right? So it's not an exact science, but it gives you a kind of idea of where the thing will be going. And you can see it's a generally wide area of where this thing may develop.
And there's a big difference between whether it develops down this side of it or on this side of it. Yeah. Because if it develops more on the north side, this thing curves back out to sea. It's no worries for anybody. The farther south it ends up, the more we'll have to watch it, particularly over into the Caribbean.
Yeah, I think based on everything right now, this thing is going to make its way across. So it'll just be something to watch. Once again, we have so much time to watch this. So, it's going to be something to watch, of course. But
they had this marked up, I think, 4 or 5 days ago when it wasn't even off the coast of Africa yet. The models kept showing a wave coming off Africa. It's off Africa now, but we've known about this for a number of days, and it's going to still be a number of days. Yeah. Remember how long we watched Lee?
Yes, and that was a big topic of conversation because everybody's like, we talked about Lee for so long. It was a big old Category 5. Everybody got excited about it pretty much. And it was just, a lot of people said it was a lot of hype. And that's kind of, it's because we end up looking at it for so long. We're staring at a Category 5 storm that was out there for so long. And then a large storm moving up the East Coast, and just with that amount of time that we're watching this, we're all paying attention, we're all engaged in social media with it. It kind of has that appearance.
And when we have these models that can see some of these things, 8, 9, 10 days out, we saw Lee developing before the tropical wave was even off Africa, like this one. So you just have so much time to watch it that, things do kind of build with it. So that's the tropics for now. I guess probably the main thing we probably need to get across to people, nothing in the Gulf. Yeah. Absolutely nothing in the Gulf. Long-range models, I haven't seen anything that looks even suspicious at all in the Gulf next 10 days or so. Well, that would be great. Maybe we can I think this is composite. I can't knock on that, right? So I hope we can get out of this season without dealing with a tropical system, at least not a direct impact from one. All right, so let's go and just show you the 7-day forecast. Problematic to say the least when we're talking about the rainfall here. Not seeing much, particularly through the weekend.
Yeah, we have this little 30 kind of thing here, but I mean, that's very similar to kind of almost what we're seeing today.
Yeah.
Which has been these couple of isolated showers. I mean, there's some of them are downpours. I mean, you were showing the radar earlier. There are some downpours in southern Baldwin County.
Yeah, they're just small. They're just not widespread enough.
Yes, and we were talking about it, how much we need a widespread rain event for it to be
We don't
a
see
drought
it.
buster. Fair forecast, we have Baldwin County Fair next couple days, so that's a good thing there. It looks like in the evening our temperatures are really good. We're in around 80, 79, 80 degrees about when the thing's going on, so that's a great thing. If you're out there at the fair, it's not going to be, weather is not going to be a problem. So it might be a little bit mild, as we said on that one there. Mild. Humidity's not that bad.
Yeah, not terrible. It's come up a little bit.
There,
yeah,
but it's not that bad. So.
Yeah. And it'll probably come up a little bit more next week. That's why we're seeing at least a few rain chances. But once again, nothing widespread, not a drought buster. So we'll continue to see that drought monitor map expanding across our area. So it's just something we got to deal with. Hey, folks, once again, I'm meteorologist Matt Barrentine, Nicholas Herboso. Thank you for joining us here on this Thursday afternoon. We'll be up here at 3, 4, 5 tonight. So, of course, tune in to Fox Tune. Love to see you there. I'll leave you with the 7-day. Have yourself a good one. We'll see you soon.